they're crooked as hell, and maybe they have to pay a price for that. I believe they are truly bad people and dishonest people. So whatever happens, happens.
Hi again, everybody.
Hey, welcome to Just Another Black Conservative. Today, I'm bringing you the video from MSNBC with the Honorable Nicole Wallace, and she's going to bring on the lion, John Brennan. I guess he's kind of worked up because the GOP Republicans have decided that he needs to be brought up on criminal charges for lying to Congress. Let's see what lies he tells in this video.
5 o'clock in New York, those comments made by Donald Trump about former FBI Director Jim Comey and former Director of the CIA John Brennan land a little differently after the series of political indictments of several of Donald Trump's critics, including that of Jim Comey himself. Months after those comments and a referral by CIA Director John Ratcliffe comes a renewed push from House Republicans to prosecute John Brennan. In a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi, Congressman Jim Jordan referred Brennan for prosecution over statements he made to Congress about the use of a now discredited dossier alleging ties between the Russian government and Donald Trump, claiming that Director Brennan lied in testimony about the use of the dossier in assessments about Russian meddling in the 2016 election. On our program back in July, Brennan said that all of these allegations are a retread of ground that has been, quote, fairly well and exhaustively plowed. And he is right. Marco Rubio and Special Counsel John Durham, who was appointed by Trump's hand-picked Attorney General Bill Barr, feel the same way. Durham spent 4 years and $6.5 million and found no criminal wrongdoing on Director Brennan's part. Neither did that Rubio-led investigation by the Senate Intelligence Committee, of course chaired by the guy who's now Donald Trump's Secretary of State. He boasted at the time of the release of his report, quote, no probe into this matter has been more exhaustive than his. Congressman Jamie Raskin, the top Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee, said this in a statement, quote, committee Republicans are dredging up old testimony from Trump foes, even when the statute of limitations has already run, in the hopes of finding something, anything, that could please their boss.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't he admit he lied before? I think he was testifying and he admitted to lying. So what exactly, I don't know the Rubio, because I don't remember the whole Rubio investigation and the Durham report and all that, but I think they did say they didn't find anything on him, but I don't know what Jim Jordan has or what he's bringing forward now. So let's see what John Brennan has to say.
Donald Trump. The allegations of lying are flimsy, slipshod, and contradictory. A new chapter in Donald Trump's efforts to pursue one of the key investigators of Russia's attack on the 2016 presidential election in this country is where we start the hour. So, new tactic, same story. What is your response to Jim Jordan getting in the action?
Well, it's clear that that's exactly what he's doing. He's trying to get into the action of Trump's revenge tour. As I've said several times on this program, as well as in congressional testimony, I've cooperated with all of these inquiries and investigations of the government. I have explained exactly what transpired during the Russian interference in the 2016 election. And Jim Jordan now, I think, is trying to twist my words and misrepresent and mischaracterize the facts as a way to play to and be a supplicant to Donald.
First of all, you have to remember this guy was a high-level CIA person. So coming onto these shows and presenting himself, he knows how to talk. And Nicole Wallace is, of course, a friendly host. So you're not going to get much pushback from her on any of this. So keep that in mind as we watch this.
Trump, which is why he's making this referral now to the Department of Justice. But as you pointed out, I've said before, this ground has been retread and plowed numerous times. And I even wrote about it in my memoir, exactly what happened there. Why would I have any motivation to not tell the truth to Congress about this? Because it's already a matter of public record.
Well, and you've been investigated by some of the closest allies to Donald Trump. Marco Rubio now has a couple of jobs in his administration. The Senate Intelligence Committee spent how many hours with you?
Numerous hours. You know, I spent 8 hours with John Durham. I spent multiple sessions with the Senate Intelligence Committee. I appeared before the House Intelligence Committee as well. Again, going through all of this, trying to make sure that they understood.
As much as I would like for the Republicans to have something on John Brennan that they can actually get him for, I don't believe they do, and I don't think anything will happen. So I kind of think this is a waste of time. However, John Brennan is a snake, and actually so is Nicole Wallace, but let's keep listening.
But clearly Jim Jordan wants to be able to satisfy Donald Trump in terms of going after Donald Trump's critics, which I am one of, and I have been outspoken when I see that Donald Trump is doing things wrong. So again, it's as unsurprising as it is ludicrous in terms of this referral that he's made to the Department of Justice. And so I am prepared to respond in whatever way I need to say that these are fallacious charges, that the record is there. I have consistently and clearly explained exactly what I did, the actions I took, and what happened during this 2016 presidential election.
Why do you think Trump is so obsessed with rewriting the
Trump is obsessed about the 2016 election because they lied on him. I mean, they lied. How long did that lie go? The Russian hoax, the dossier, all that stuff. I think it went like 2 years, 3 years into his presidency, and then they let it go. They kept going on and on about it. So that's why everybody's up in arms, because all of these people lied. The FBI, the CIA, the intelligence community, all of them were lying about this whole thing. Hillary Clinton, even Senator McCain. I mean, it's a mess.
history of his win in 2016?
I think you'd have to ask him, and I know he's not going to appear on your program, but clearly he is a very, very sensitive and insecure individual. I think he believes...
and look how he snuck that in. He's a very insecure... Okay, John.
With some justification that Russian interference in that election did help him be victorious. And so he's trying to...
Oh, now, see, he threw it in there again. He said the interference of Russia helped him win that election. Did you hear him say that? Still pushing that narrative.
To discredit the assessments that were done, the intelligence that is there. He continues to go back at this, and that's why they keep talking about the Russia hoax, the Russia hoax. No, as you pointed out, the conclusions that the intelligence community reached have been validated numerous times by these bipartisan committees in the Senate, and these studies that have been...
That's not the Russian hoax that Russia interfered in or tried to interfere in the election. The hoax was the dossier. That whole fictitious dossier was the whole crux of the hoax. Notice how they gloss over that. Again, Nicole Wallace is not going to push back on any of this.
Done. So he's still trying to, again, refute what is clearly obvious, I think, to any right-minded individual, that Russia interfered on behalf of Donald Trump in 2016. And rather than focus on all the things that need to be done in this country, trying to take care of all the challenges that we face domestically and internationally, he continues to go back over that. Again, there's something that is deeply flawed about Donald Trump in terms of his having to...
No, there's something deeply flawed about you. You are deeply flawed.
Go after these enemies, even though he has enormous political power, much more so than any previous president. And he's exercising that. He's pushing the boundaries of it. But still, he feels as though he has to vanquish his rivals, vanquish his opponents. And what I find most shocking is that his base, his MAGA base, continue to be hoodwinked by...
MAGA is hoodwinked because MAGA's dumb, remember? MAGA is dumb. They were in the sticks. Oh, wait, how did Hillary say? Deplorables? We're just dumb. We don't understand what's going on in the world. Oh my gosh, I love these pompous people that come on and say these things.
A world-class charlatan. I mean, I was watching your program in terms of, the East Wing of the White House. My goodness, a place that is sacred, in terms of our political system and our
kills
country.
me. Yeah.
And they're allowing him to do this. And it's just one more symbol of his tearing down all the things that have made this country great for so many years.
Again, how many presidents have done things to the White House to enhance it? But because Trump does something, it's the worst thing ever. Oh my God, the Democrats. See, the Democrats don't know what to argue about. They don't know what to bring up. This is the least thing that people are worrying about. But they bring it up because they think, oh, the American people are going to be, so horrified by the fact that he's adding a ballroom to the White House.
The types of actions that he's taking against undocumented workers here, tearing families apart, going in.
Oh, then he slides in the documented workers, separating families. They love the separating families. You know why? Because it tugs at your heartstrings. It makes you feel so bad that they're separating families. No. If you come in the country illegally and you drop a baby, that does not give you
After Medicaid recipients, the types of things that, again, it seems so inconsistent with American values. And he should be really addressing the cost of living issues, other types of things, as well as on the international stage, whether you're talking about cyber threats or the China threat or Ukraine and other things. Why he continues to focus on this, I think is just...
As I was saying, if you come in the country and drop a baby, that doesn't exonerate you of the laws of the country. You're illegally here. Just because you had a baby here doesn't mean that you are legally here. Now, the baby is, but it doesn't mean you are. And then here's one thing I don't understand. Maybe somebody can drop a comment in and explain it to me. If you've been in this country for 20 years, what year do you try to get naturalized in the country? None of them? You just spend all your time having babies. They grow up to be teenagers, and then they grow up to be adults. And meanwhile, you're not even trying to be a citizen of this country. Why? Someone need to drop that in the comments and explain it to me why.
Beyond me.
One of the things that is a hallmark of this term is that Putin seems even more committed to publicly embarrassing Donald Trump. There seemed to be a dance between the two of them from the outside. Again, not even his own advisors knew everything that happened in the first term. But after meeting with Donald Trump and after talking with Donald Trump, Putin has unleashed some of the most lethal and brutal attacks against Ukraine, in some instances targeting the civilians. Just as someone who understands America's adversaries, why do you think Putin is...
Oh, we're gonna get Brennan's assessment of Putin and why the way she put it is he's playing Trump. Okay.
He's humiliating Trump so publicly this time.
Oh wait, humiliating Trump. Let's see how Brennan spells this out.
I think because some of the things that Trump has said publicly and the fact that Trump has said publicly that he's going to sort of resolve this conflict and the things he said that, Ukraine should get back territory, whatever. Putin is determined to be able to swallow up as much of Ukraine as possible. He's not going to give in to Donald Trump. And I think he realized when they met in Alaska that Donald Trump really doesn't have a viable plan to be able to resolve this conflict. He's just going to try to use his
My question is this, and maybe someone can drop this into the comments too and explain it to me. Why hasn't Russia just flattened Ukraine? Now, maybe it's because there's stuff in Ukraine that they want and they don't want to destroy the entire infrastructure. But maybe you can explain to me why Russia hasn't flattened Ukraine and totally taken it over. Is it because their military is not capable of doing it? Maybe someone can give me the insight to that.
Influence or sway and the might of the United States. But Vladimir Putin is not going to budge from his determination again to take as much of that territory as possible. And he feels as though he can outlast Trump because Trump will go back and forth. Depending on the latest whim that he has, he's going to favor Russia or say he's going to support Ukraine or whatever. Putin is a very, very experienced world player. And he's playing chess. And Donald Trump is nowhere near in the same chess league as Vladimir Putin.
Vladimir is playing chess, and Trump is nowhere in the stratosphere of being able to play chess with Putin.
When you hear something or there's a new development on the efforts to target you and harass you, what do you do? Do you sort of gird yourself for a call from your lawyer that DOJ has been in touch? I mean, because if you watch the Comey indictment and you watch Tish James, like, they will cross lines that even Trump didn't cross in the first term. What do you prepare?
Wait a minute. Tish James, she's got stink all over her. Comey, he's got stink all over him. Brennan, he's got stink all over him. So why shouldn't they be investigated? They had no problems investigating Trump, and all of Trump's people, they investigated everybody in Trump's orbit. And not one of these people said, oh, why do you think they're doing that? Oh, maybe they shouldn't be doing that. No. As soon as Trump starts going after these people, now the whole song and dance changes. Why do you think that? I don't know.
For?
Well, when these things happen, I certainly get mad, I get angry. I also get sad that this is the state of our country, and the state of our politics these days. The fact that
he started it.
Individuals like a Jim Jordan are going to go after somebody. I served nearly 3.5 decades in public service.
Just because you spent 3.5 decades in public service doesn't mean you're not crooked.
A lot involved in counterterrorism in the aftermath of 9/11. They don't care about doing things like this to destroy individuals, to go after me, to hurt me and my family and others. And so, I'm saddened by what has happened. Sometimes I'm dispirited and disheartened. At the same time, I feel motivated to be able to stand up. And I'm glad that other people are standing up as well. And I see that more and more people are starting to realize what Donald Trump is all about. And so I'm hoping that the Republicans in Congress, I know it's a wish that I've had for quite a while, they're really going to draw the line. And when they look at what's happened against the White House, it's such a vivid depiction and symbolic of what's going on to this country.
All right, thanks for checking this video out with me. As always, I enjoy you being here with me. Like, subscribe, comment if you like. My only comment is John Brennan is a liar. But I don't know if the Republicans have enough on him to get him for anything, and they probably don't. It's hard when people are in power, and trying to get them is very hard. All right, I'll catch you on the next video. I'm kind of sick, so I'll talk to you guys on the next video.